Well, I thought, one, just want to compliment, Milwaukee on their style of play. In scouting it, you see it and you're trying to explain that to your players, but to actually be out there competing against them, just a very physical, big team, mature team, and they played the right way. So I thought our guys did a really good job of, understanding what we had to do to be successful, following the game plan for the most part, and there are areas that we know we can improve in from playing a team like this because they really prepare you, especially the way they rebound the basketball on the offensive glass.
Coach, were you concerned coming off from Sunday? You basically play a game and a half with the triple overtime and then kind of the gut punch when you don't pull it out, having to fly home and to get ready for a really good team. Were you really concerned coming into this one how the guys would respond?
No, definitely. We tried to, snap them out of it, as fast as we could. We had some intense practices. They weren't long, but they were intense to try to get our guys refocused and understanding that, they all count as one. They all count as one win or one loss, no matter how you look at it. And so for us, we take that approach, and I thought our guys did a good job of responding.
Coach, let's talk about Darius Johnson tonight. He had 28 points, 8 three-pointers. What a night he had. Just talk about his performance.
I thought Darius was terrific. I thought he had a great night. I thought more so than even the points and shooting the basketball. He's so comfortable in his role now and the leadership. He's leading our team. He's running the show. And the guys are, getting more comfortable with playing with them, all the new players. And you just see that. He's been a rock for us this season. And, you'd like to see that out of his senior point guard.
Johnny, what's the status of Mustafa and also what how did that how positive of a thing was it tonight to be able to maybe have to change your lineup a little bit and move some guys around, have some guys step up when you have a guy like that go down?
Well, we talk about that all the time, the ability of guys to take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of them, because you're going to have games like this where you don't have your full roster. You have games where guys may be in foul trouble, and who's going to step up and who's going to contribute. And so, yeah, we definitely missed Mustafa, but we were able to see some guys really step up and respond to the challenge. And so just really happy to see that. We trust them. That's why we put them in the game. And I thought a lot of guys delivered. I thought Tyler did a terrific job for us. I thought Dior did a terrific job for us as well. And, we put Rokas in a different position. He came, he started. And so that's his first start for us. So I thought all those guys really made big contributions.
What was Mustafa's, what's his status?
He's day-to-day. He tweaked his ankle, but it was something that, want to let him continue to recover and get better. So he should end up being fine, but he's just day-to-day right now.
Going into this game, your team's given up an average of 81 points a game, give up 76 tonight. Where do you think the team is defensively? What do they need to improve upon? You only have a couple of non-conference games left.
No, absolutely. We got to continue to get better defensively. That's something that, we hang our hat on. We are playing a faster pace now, so I account for some of that by how fast we're playing. We're playing more possession game, I believe, the way we're playing. And so points are going to be scored more. You have a triple overtime game doesn't help. I think it was 70-70 before overtimes. So it was more in line with what we wanted until the triple overtime. So we got to get better at it for sure. But, I expect it to go up a little bit only because, we're playing a higher possession game. We're playing with more pace, and that's going to lead to more possessions by teams.
Follow up on that LSU game, that 20-point lead. What happened in that one?
It was the tale of two halves. I mean, LSU, I thought, did a really good job in the second half. They put us in some really, really big foul trouble early on. I think the fouls were 9-1 at one point in the second half, and that put us in a position where we really could not, be but so aggressive defensively because anytime we fouled, they were going to shoot two. And they understood that, so they were attacking the basket, attacking the paint a lot, putting us in a position where there's contact, and then it becomes a decision that's going to be called on that. I thought that was a part of it. I thought, we had to execute better when we had the lead. Coming down the stretch, we still were up under 4 minutes. We have to make sure we understand what we have to do, like tonight, to end the game. I thought tonight we made some of the right decisions and did the things that we had done most of this year up until the LSU game. In that same situation, we made a couple, mistakes down the stretch. We turned it over down the stretch, which we rarely do. I thought, we gave them too many second and third shot attempts, on some of their missed shots. They got them back. Those are things you have to do well at the end of the game to kind of end it, and we didn't do that as well.
You talked about Dior stepping up. He had 9 points in the second half, kind of commanded the offense for a bit. How does he take this performance into the future?
I think he's getting more and more comfortable with our system. I mean, look, he's making a huge adjustment. And, and the teams we're playing, as you can see, every team is good that we face. So, every possession is so important. And I think early on he was just he was pressing, trying to find his way, and he couldn't get his legs up under him. And I think over the last 2 or 3 games, maybe 3 games or so, you see him getting more and more comfortable. And as he gets more and more comfortable, he'll gain more confidence. And as he gets more confidence, he'll continue to be a steady player for us. I was really happy with his performance today.
Going back to Darius a little bit, obviously he had 28 points, 8 for 10 from 3, set a career high today for threes. When a guy's having a game like that, do you just kind of have him lean into the high end a little bit?
No, absolutely. He's going to lead our team and he's going to make guys better. But when he have his open looks, I want him taking them. He's one of the better shooters right now in college basketball, and he should be taking his looks when he has them. And so I don't want him passing those up, but I do want him understanding that as a lead guard to facilitate, make guys around you better, and then when your opportunities are there, take them. But he's picking his spots so well right now. He looks like he's a senior point guard. He understands what we want. He's picking his spots, and he's leading our team.
You were out-rebounded by 10. They had a lot of offensive boards. Was that just matchups, lineups, not having, Mustafa in there? What do you think? Why do you think that was?
Well, Mustafa definitely would have helped. And to be quite frank, with Mustafa out, their front line is big. Their wings are 6'7", 6'8". We're out there sometimes with Dior at 6'1", DJ at 6'1", and Juice at 6'1". So they have a little size advantage. And then Stillwell is just one of the best bigs. If you think about what he does, he plays the 4, but he plays the 5. He averages a double-double. So, you have guys like that out there. I think they out-rebound their opponents by more than what we gave up, by more than 10 so far this year. And they average 15 offensive rebounds as well. So they do a good job at knowing who they are. They understand their system and how they can be successful, and they play toward it like any good team would do, and that's what you saw tonight.
Coach, you mentioned the players making the right passes. Milwaukee seemed to be playing some trap at some times, some press at some times, but it seemed like the players were patient and found the right reads. They only gave up 8 turnovers tonight. What did you see from that?
I was really proud of them. We had been challenging our guys about turning the ball over too much, and I thought we did a great job against a team that's really pesky. They're physical, they're active, like you said, they're trapping. And I thought our guys showed a lot of poise. They made the right decisions with the basketball. They moved it. I think they made each other better by finding each other for good shots. And so that's what you want to see in that kind of situation, because you're going to be, as we go forward from here on, it's going to be, all our games are going to be like this, and that's a good thing. It's going to help us get better. You have to learn how to, be in games like this and be comfortable in games like this.
Johnny, what did you learn from this team through that two-game stretch in West Virginia? What did you learn about it, taking away from that as you guys move forward?
Well, the areas that we have to get better in facing both of those teams, we have to get better rebounding the basketball, and I think it showed again today we can be better rebounding the basketball, and we're going to continue to concentrate on that. We got to get better at making sure that we have good defensive balance, which means guys are in the right spots, picking up the right guys as the ball's coming down the court. And so those are the areas that we saw that we could improve in. And I thought some of that we improved on tonight, to be quite frank. We did improve on some of it. Like I said, they're just a different challenge because they're one of the more physical, crashing the board, rebounding teams pretty much in the country. They average 15 boards a game. I don't care who you are or what conference you're in. That's doing a yeoman's job of working on the glass.
You mentioned Tyler earlier. What have you seen from him the last couple of games?
With Tyler, Tyler's very easy to play with. First and foremost, he understands the game. He usually really compliments whatever group he's out there playing with, he compliments them. And that's who he is. He's a guy who goes out there on the floor. He's pretty steady at what he does. He's going to be a good defender. He's going to rebound the ball. And offensively, he's going to usually move the ball and put it in the right positions, whether it's to another player or he's going to receive it in a position where he can do something with it. And so he's played what you saw today and what we saw, the other day at Greenbrier. It's Tyler that we see every day in practice. I'm glad to see he's back and healthy so that he can help us.
You mentioned Jalen's been day-to-day. What's he cleared to do at this point?
He's been cleared to do he's done some of our workouts. When we do pregame workouts, no contact, things of that nature, but nothing, real physical where we're banging bodies or anything, but shooting, when we do our pregame, shooting, or we do our, in practice after shooting or things like that, he can do those things for a limited amount of time, maybe half hour or so.
Do you hope to have him back before conference play?
Oh, yeah, we definitely hope to have him back before conference play. I just don't know, what's going to happen. Like I said, Am I optimistic? Absolutely. But we have to wait and see. Nothing I can do, nothing anyone can do except wait and see where he is at that time. And, the one thing that I do know, he wants to be out there desperately. And so he wants to be out there with his teammates. And so it's tough for him. It's tough for everyone. But the main thing is about his health. You want to make sure he's going to be okay. This young man has a long career ahead of him, and the last thing you want to do is do something or have him do something that puts him in harm's way. So I think our doctors have been amazing. Our trainers have been too, and I think they're following the right plan of action to try to help him along.
Sticking on that topic, Mikey on a podcast said he's like a week away. He's getting close to a comeback. When do you anticipate him making that comeback?
I'm glad you said that on the podcast. I'm not sure. I'm just still day to day with him as well. So I missed that one. So, we'll see. But I know he is improving. That's for sure. He's starting to do it more and more, which, you can always see when the guy's coming back to almost that protocol to come back to play. But he's not there yet. He's still in the process of getting there. But I'm seeing him, of course, if you compare the two, he's doing more, which means he's on more of a trajectory right now on a faster track. But I don't know if that's a week or 10 days or 2 weeks or, 3 days. It's still day to day with where he is and his comfort level as he moves forward.
Johnny, along those lines, when those two guys do come back, whatever time it is, how do you plan to kind of maybe move them into the lineup a little bit? You don't want to disrupt what you guys have kind of done. So how do you think in your mind you'll be able to maybe get those guys integrated into what you're trying to do and maybe give them some minutes and keep them getting better as they move along?
Well, it was always all about just winning. And so we have to make sure that we understand, our personnel. Like, we know Jalen. I mean, Jalen's already been with me a year. I understand who he is. And so trying to figure him out, not that I'm, that's down the road for us, but trying to figure that out, you got an idea of who he is and he's experienced. He's a senior out there. In Mikey's case, he's a freshman. So, trying to figure his situation out is a little bit different trying to figure out a senior who averaged 15 points a game for me last year. So, we'll see. As you know, it can be disruptive when you're starting to do that, especially when we're getting down there with Game 7, 8, 9. We're starting to, get to almost a third of the season's almost over. So we have to make sure we're careful with how we look to insert these guys to try to make sure we keep our chemistry and our continuity as well as we can.
Only 12 fouls today, Coach. How are you guys finding the line between playing physical and also not fouling?
Well, our goal is always to play as hard as we can without fouling. So, that's kind of how we coach. We coach our guys to play hard, but be disciplined with that. And so I think tonight we were. I thought we were disciplined. We didn't foul as much, and which is something we talked about. We fouled, too much, when we're up at the Greenbrier. So seeing our guys, be disciplined, do the things that we talked about defensively is what I want to see, and that's what you mean by improvement and growth.
Coach, I asked the guys what their favorite Thanksgiving side dish was. Darius likes macaroni and cheese mixed with sweet potatoes, and I think Juice said it was sweet potato pie or something like sweet potato. What about you? What's
He's
your
gonna like that because my wife made a few of those for the group for tomorrow for dinner.
So what are you running for? What's going to be your
my
your
wife's
dish?
mac and cheese is pretty special for me, so I have an affinity for her mac and cheese. But I tell you what, I'm just thankful, like we all are. I mean, you kidding me? It's one of the best holidays, in our country, and just because it's about family and friends. So you gotta love it. So I'm enjoy just spending the day with our team and the families and the people that'll be here, from our program, and that's what it's about. And then we'll reset and go to the next play after dinner and start preparing. But tomorrow I want these guys to enjoy this evening, good win, enjoy tomorrow with family and friends and teammates, and then we'll move forward. So happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving. All right, Darius, you were certainly feeling it from the offensive end. 8 3-pointers. Was it your night? Did you feel like you were going to have a big shooting night during warm-ups, or how were you feeling out there?
I mean, honestly, I put a lot of work into my shooting. That's one of my biggest things that I worked on since, my early on years. But honestly, the ball just felt great coming out of my hands tonight. I feel like I've been shooting the ball pretty well for these past few days and past few games in general. So, my teammates found me for open shots. Some of the shots I created on my own, but honestly, it just felt great tonight.
DJ, you had 28 points, provided a big spark for the team. It seemed like everything that was leaving your hands was going in. How did you feel? Like, did it feel like everything was going in tonight for you? Did it just feel natural?
Honestly, everything, like, it felt comfortable. It wasn't really too many shots that like got away from my hands or just felt a little bit off, and it still happened to go in. You know, my teammates trust me, and I trust myself, and my coaches trust me to take those shots and make them. You know, obviously I had a extraordinary night shooting the ball from three. I rarely think that will happen again, but you know, it's great. You know, I know eventually my teammates are gonna have nights like that as well.
You guys have struggled a little bit with the 3-point shots early on this season. What is it about it that is is it something you guys can just shoot your way out of it, or what is it about the 3-point shots maybe that haven't fallen for you guys in recently at least?
I mean, honestly, we have a lot of great shooters. You know, as you can see, one of another great shooters on our team right here, Juice. He shot 40% last year from three. I shot 40% last year. So, you know, when the coaches recruited a bunch of guys that could shoot the ball and play at such a fast pace, you know, it's designed in our offense. You know, coaches are going to tell him when to stop shooting threes. You know, he's all for guys taking the open looks.
And I can also say, within, you know, we have new players and a new system. I think we still have guys still learning the system as we playing. So, I think guys are just thinking right now. I'd say the more we keep playing, the more people get comfortable and shots start falling.
Guys, you went into this game giving up 81 points a game, 76 tonight. Where do you think this team is at this point on defense?
I'll tell you one thing, I don't really want to be. You know, we have a goal that we want to accomplish each and every game, and tonight we didn't accomplish that. But, you know, we were able to make shots on the offensive end, so that helps us out. But every night we're not going to be able to make shots, so we're going to have to hang our hat on defense and, you know, rely on that to win games.
Yeah, I could say we just came out. I think we came out a little lazy today on defense. I know we're gonna get in the film room and take care of that. So we got a lot of work to do on that end. We're gonna get better though.
You guys have both logged a lot of minutes through the first 7 games. You got Dior Johnson onto the floor in the second half, scored 9 points. What did you see from his game today, and how can he take that next step?
I think Dior gave us a great spark with his energy. Dior, I love his energy. He always give us energy, hype us up. You know, I think he did a great job today.
Yeah, I think, you know, Dior came out and competed great today. You know, he's another ball handler, another guard for us, you know, who can get downhill and also create plays for his teammates and for himself. I feel like the shots that we saw him make today is shots that we see him make on a day-to-day basis in practice.
Juice, going in this game, you had 11 points in the first half. Did you have something going for you offensively that you really wanted to take into this game, or what was on your mind in the first half?
Just letting the game come to me. You know, just picking and choosing my spots, knowing when to score. You know, just working on taking the right shots, and you know, the basketball guards rewarded me because I was taking the right shots and trying to get my teammates involved. So.
How tough was Sunday, that triple overtime game? I know you guys feel like you should have won that, having such a big lead there. And just how did that kind of translate? You got to fly home and then get ready for a really good team tonight, too.
Yeah, you know, that was definitely, you know, a tough weekend for us. You know, not something that we want to remember. We want to have a short-term memory in this. You know, take the things that happened in the game, learn from it, and that's what we did. You know, we came back Monday morning, watched film, and you know, I feel like we grew up as a team today. We grew up. You know, Coach always preaches just to focus on going 1-0 each and every game. Just focus on that game. Don't look in the past or look at the games ahead.
And then I think it was good for us to get a little adversity so we can learn how to push through and get stronger and come together as a team a lot more.
Juice, you guys only had 8 turnovers tonight. Was it more of an emphasis to keep the ball in your guys' possession tonight?
I think we were just focusing on. I know they was a little handsy. They like to play in the gaps a lot, so we was just expecting where they was gonna be and played at our pace and didn't get sped up. So I think we did a good job of that.
It seemed like a lot of the opportunities you guys had, they were trying to press, they were trying to trap, and you guys were patient enough to look for the opening man.
Right. We had a lot of open back doors we was hitting, and I think we did a really good job of seeing that, especially this guy right here, Darius.
Yeah, I think we did a great job, you know, using their aggressiveness against them. You know, they're a very physical team and very active with their hands. You know, we had a lot of people playing out the post tonight. You know, we threw it into our bigs. It's something that we've been preaching more of. And, you know, guys just playing off of that. You know, Juice had a cut to the basket on one of the post-ups. Tyler had a backdoor play. So, you know, we're still growing as a team, and the chemistry is still growing as guys touch the floor with each other.
Coaches talked a lot about using these non-conference games to kind of build you guys up, getting ready for the Big 12. What have you guys learned so far on through the first 7 games, particularly after this weekend? What have you guys learned that you need to do better, and where do you think you guys are your strengths are at right now?
I would say our strength is just our offense with our pace and the amount of talent that we have. Obviously we're still working together. Trying to play together. We're not a complete team. We're still working on it. We see it on film, plays that we can make the extra kicks or extra reads and stuff like that. But I think rebounding is probably one of our biggest challenges this year. But with the non-conference schedule that we have, I feel like we see a little bit of the Big 12 teams that we're going to face in these non-conference games. This team, they did a great job tonight with offensive rebounding. They really put a lot of pressure on us as guards and bigs, and it's something that we have to work on.
I can say also learning how when we have a lead on the team, just stand on their neck. Keep applying pressure, not getting comfortable with teams and letting them come back. So I think we do a bad job of that, just getting comfortable, not playing out, keep steady playing our way, and instead of letting teams come back and just blowing them out the way. So
You mentioned Tyler earlier. What have you liked about what you've seen from him the last couple of games?
One thing about Tyler is he's very active. He's very active on offense and on defense. He's not the type of guy that's just going to stand and wait for the ball to come to him. He's trying to go make plays on his own. That's something that we preach, to go, we call it hunting. Just going out to get your own thing. I feel like Tyler does that a lot. He moves without the ball. He's active on defense. I feel like one of the standout plays tonight was just that box out he had where he got the foul. That's something that we've really been preaching with the team, and everyone is boxing out and making sure we go get the rebounds. But what he did is, if he couldn't get it, his man wasn't going to get it either. So he did a great job with that, being physical and holding off his box out.
Juice, you mentioned new guys coming in with a new system. Obviously, you played under Coach Hood at your last stop. Is that something that you've tried to help garner in the offensive philosophy?
Yeah, I kind of tried to help all summer long, but it's still like a fast-paced offense. I know some guys come from like a slow-paced system, so we just trying to preach, run at a fast pace, and sometimes when you run at a fast pace, those shots and them threes that we're talking about, some guys ain't used to running as fast and shooting it. So I think the more we just keep doing it, we're gonna get better at it.
Time for 2 more.
Is there anything to take away from this game? You mentioned the offensive rebounds, but they had 14 of them. Is it a physicality thing, or is it just something that from game to game that you think will kind of fluctuate?
Honestly, I just think that's something that we have to work on. They doubled us in offensive rebounders. They had 10 more total rebounds than us. So that's something that we have to get better at. I don't know if it's technique, I don't know if it's toughness, but we'll watch the film and guys, they have their box meeting with coaches and see where they can do better with that.
For both the guys, with Thanksgiving tomorrow, what's your favorite Thanksgiving side dish? And secondarily, what are you most thankful for right now?
My side dish is
I already know mine. Sweet potato pie. I love the sweet
that's
potato.
dessert, dude. That ain't a
Hey,
side.
that's my side. That's my dish. Hey, I eat that.
I ain't gonna lie, my side is probably, y'all ever tried mac and cheese mixed with sweet potatoes? If y'all try it, let me know what y'all think. But
That's almost.
honestly,
almost, huh? Ain't it?
what I'm most thankful for, honestly, is God and my family, the team that I'm on. I'm very blessed with. We have a lot of different guys, a lot of different characters on our team. It's a brotherhood, and I'm proud to be a part of it for my last year.
I would say the same thing. Thankful for God, my family, just being here every moment, every day.
Appreciate it, fellas.
Appreciate it.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving to y'all.
Thanksgiving.